Welcome to this explainer of Chapter 5 of the Zimbabwean Constitution. Today we are diving into something super important: how our government is actually run. We're going to break down the supreme law of the land into simple, everyday English so that absolutely everyone can clearly understand it. No confusing legal jargon here, I promise.
To kick things off, I want you to picture a really large household, a village, or even a school. Just like a school needs a headmaster, or a village needs a chief to guide the community. Well, who runs our country? Who actually has the power to make those big daily decisions for Zimbabwe?
In this explainer, we are going to look at 5 main things: who runs the country, the qualifications for the job, the daily duties, the support team, and finally, the rules and limits they have to follow. All right, let's jump straight into part 1. Who runs the country?
So, when you read Chapter 5 of the Constitution, you're going to see the word executive pop up a lot. Don't let it confuse you. The executive is literally just a formal word for the president and the special team of people that helps run the government day to day. That is it. It's basically the management team of Zimbabwe.
Section 89 of our Constitution makes this crystal clear. It states that the president is the head of state and government. Think of it like a father or mother guiding a very large family. The president is that ultimate leader. They are also the commander-in-chief of the defense forces, which is just a formal way of saying they're the top boss of the army.
Moving right along to part 2, qualifications for the president.
Let's talk about the ultimate job interview. What does it actually take to get this massive role? You can't just walk in and ask for the job, right? Section 91 gives us the strict rules. To even be considered for president, you got to meet a few basic requirements. First, you must be a Zimbabwean citizen by birth or by descent. Second, you have to normally live right here in Zimbabwe. And third, you absolutely must be a registered voter.
Oh, and there is an important number to remember: 40. You have to be at least 40 years old. Now, why 40? Well, it's to make sure the leader brings the wisdom, maturity, and life experience of a community elder. They really need to have lived enough life to make wise choices for all of us.
So, let's say a person passes that job interview and the people choose them in an election. They are hired for a term of exactly 5 years. It is a set period of time, kind of like signing a contract.
And the Constitution is super strict about this next part. No one can hold this job forever. A person can only be president for a maximum of 2 terms. Once you've served those 2 terms, even if you took a break in between, your time as the head of the national household is completely done. This is a really great rule because it makes sure new leaders always get a chance to bring in fresh ideas.
Now for part 3, the president's daily duties.
Now that we know who qualifies, what does the boss actually do all day? Section 110 lists their important tasks. Their job includes agreeing to and signing new rules into law so everyone knows what to follow. They also have the power to call elections so we can all vote. They send out the defense forces to keep us safe, and they are the main voice for Zimbabwe when we deal with other countries.
But here is the real heart of the job. Section 90 says the president absolutely must uphold the Constitution and promote unity and peace in the nation. Just like a good village chief brings harmony to the community, the president's main job is making sure all Zimbabweans, no matter where they're from, live together in peace and actually benefit from the country's wealth.
Okay, on to part 4, the support team.
You know, a headmaster can't possibly teach every single class alone. They need teachers. In the same way, the president cannot run a whole country single-handedly. So while the president gives the overall direction, they appoint a team called the cabinet. These cabinet ministers are senior helpers who manage specific areas. Think of it like this: the president is the head, but the minister of health is the one making sure the clinics and hospitals are actually running. The minister of education makes sure our schools have exactly what they need.
And to help carry the absolute heaviest parts of the load, the Constitution says the president must appoint up to 2 vice presidents. Now, these vice presidents have to meet the exact same rules as the president. They got to be citizens, be at least 40 years old, and be registered voters. They're there to assist the president every single day with whatever tasks need doing. So what happens if the president gets sick? Or maybe they're traveling to another country for a big meeting? Well, Section 100 has a really clear step-by-step backup plan. First, the first vice president steps in to act as the boss. If they can't do it, the second vice president acts. And if neither of them is around, a chosen minister takes over. This makes absolutely sure our country is never, ever without a leader.
Finally,
Let's look at Part 5, Rules and Limits.
This is a crucial part of Chapter 5. What happens if the leaders break the rules of the household? Because remember, nobody is above the law. Sections 106 and 107 are super clear on this. Ministers and vice presidents absolutely cannot use their government jobs to create personal wealth for themselves or their friends. They have to act honestly. Plus, they must regularly go to Parliament to answer questions from the people's representatives. They literally have to stand up and explain what they're doing and why.
And what about the president? What if they seriously violate the Constitution or become physically or mentally unable to do the job? Well, Section 97 gives Parliament a strict 1-2-3-step process to safely remove them. First, Parliament votes to investigate the issue. Second, a special joint committee looks closely into it. And third, it takes a massive 2/3 majority vote from Parliament to officially remove the president from power. It's a tough process, but it is there for a reason.
Now, balancing power and protection is really important. Section 98 says the president actually has immunity while in office. This means they are protected from being dragged into civil or criminal court for personal things while they're trying to run the country. It lets them focus entirely on the job. But Section 88 reminds us of the most beautiful truth in the whole document. All executive power comes directly from you, the people of Zimbabwe. The leaders only have power because the people lend it to them.
Understanding Chapter 5 really empowers you. It shows you exactly what your leaders are supposed to do and the strict rules they must follow. So, now that you know how the national household is meant to be run, how will you use this knowledge to ensure our leaders work for the good, the peace, and the unity of all Zimbabweans? Take a moment to think about that and keep learning.